You've probably asked yourself at some point, does he really love me or am I just imagining it? The truth is, men don't always express love the same way women expect. Many times, the real signs are subtle, almost invisible if you're not paying attention. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal one of the most overlooked signs of deep love. Something so small, yet so powerful, it changes how you see your relationship forever. Why men express love differently. Let's start here. Men often grow up being told to be strong, don't cry, and don't show too much emotion. Because of that, their love rarely comes in dramatic speeches or endless words. Instead, it shows up in actions, practical, sometimes quiet, but deeply meaningful actions. Think about it. A man may not say, "I love you" every single day, but if he wakes up early to fix your car or carries the heavy bags without you asking, that's love in motion. Sign 1. He listens more than he talks. It sounds simple, but in reality, it's rare. When a man truly loves you, he doesn't just hear your words, he pays attention. He remembers details you mentioned last week, the name of your coworker, the movie you wanted to watch, the story about your childhood. That attention is a form of love. Why? Because listening is effort. It means he values your inner world. Example, you might casually mention that your favorite fruit is mango. Days later, he shows up with a bag of fresh mangoes saying, "I thought of you when I saw these." That's not random kindness. That's love in its quietest form. Here's where cultural analysis comes in. In many societies, men are taught that real love means doing, not saying. Listening deeply and remembering details is part of that action-based love. He might never announce, "I love you so much I remember your favorite fruit," but his act speaks louder than any speech. Sign 2. He shares his vulnerability. Men don't open up easily. Many carry the weight of expectation. Be strong, be in control, don't show weakness. So when a man allows himself to show you his fears, doubts, or even failures, it's not small, it's massive. Love is not only about presenting the best version of yourself. It's about trusting someone enough to reveal the cracks. If he tells you about his struggles at work or how he worries about disappointing his family, it's a form of intimacy. And let's be honest, he doesn't do that with everyone. He does it with the one he trusts. Sign 3. He puts effort in the everyday. We often imagine grand gestures as proof of love. Flowers, trips, big surprises. Those matter, yes, but daily effort is the real test. Does he check in on you after a long day? Does he handle small tasks to make your life easier? For example, maybe he fixes the leaking faucet without being asked. Maybe he makes coffee just the way you like it. Maybe he insists on walking you home at night. Those things are not glamorous, but they're consistent. And consistency is the skeleton of real love. Analytical comparison. Here's an interesting point. Psychologist Erich Fromm once said that love isn't primarily a feeling, but a decision and a practice. That aligns with what we're saying here. Love is shown in the small, repeated actions, not just the emotional highs. So, when a man loves you, he doesn't only show it during passionate moments. He shows it in ordinary routines, over and over. Now, before I move on, let me tell you this. The most powerful sign of a man's love isn't found in what he gives you, but in what he's willing to sacrifice for you. I'll explain that in a moment, but first, let's cover a few more subtle signs that many people overlook. Sign 4. He defends you, even in small ways. Love is not just about romance, it's about loyalty. One of the clearest signs that a man truly cares is when he stands up for you, even when you're not around to see it. It doesn't have to be a dramatic confrontation. It might be something as small as correcting someone who misrepresents you or making sure people respect your boundaries. Example: imagine you're at a dinner with friends and someone makes a sarcastic joke at your expense. A man who loves you won't laugh along just to fit in. He'll redirect the conversation or gently signal that the joke went too far. That's protection, and protection is love. Culturally, this links back to ancient social roles. In almost every society, men were expected to protect their partners. Even though times have changed, the instinct remains. Standing up for you, even in modern, subtle contexts, is one of those evolutionary traces of devotion. Sign 5. He adapts without complaining. This is one of the most underrated signs. When a man loves you, he adjusts parts of his life to make space for you. He might change his schedule, shift his habits, or compromise on things he used to do alone. Here's the key. He doesn't make it seem like a burden. He doesn't remind you every day of the sacrifices he made. Instead, the adjustments flow naturally. Example: maybe he used to spend every Friday night gaming with friends. Now, without drama, he chooses to spend some Fridays with you. Not because you demanded it, but because his priorities shifted. This is where you see the psychology of attachment. Strong attachment doesn't erase individuality, but it reshapes it. His choices show that your presence influences the rhythm of his life. Now, before I move on, let me tell you this. The most powerful sign of a man's love isn't found in what he gives you, but in what he's willing to sacrifice for you. I'll explain that in a moment, but first, let's cover a few more subtle signs that many people overlook. Sign 6. He notices when you're not okay. You don't even need to say the words. A man who loves you senses when something is off. He'll notice the shift in your tone, the way you move, or the silence you didn't explain. He might not always know the right words, but he'll ask, "Are you all right?" Or, "Do you want to talk about it?" That awareness shows attunement, a psychological term meaning he's emotionally tuned into you. Compare this to someone who is indifferent. If he doesn't care, he won't notice. If he notices but does nothing, that's not love, it's observation without commitment. Sign 8. He lets you influence him. Here's something that surprises many people. True love isn't just about what he does for you. It's also about what you allow him to change in him. A man who loves you will let your perspective shape his. He'll take your advice seriously. He'll reflect on your words. He'll even shift some beliefs or behaviors because your opinion matters that much. This is not weakness, it's strength. Allowing influence is a form of trust. Example: if you suggest he eats healthier and he actually tries it, not to please you for one day, but because he values your guidance, that's love expressed in growth. Jordan Peterson often emphasizes the importance of responsibility and growth in relationships. Love isn't static, it's dynamic. If a man is willing to grow under your influence, it's a clear sign that love is driving him. Suspense point: sacrifice. Now, here's where it gets powerful. All the signs we've discussed so far, listening, protecting, adapting, being vulnerable, are strong indicators, but there's one sign that surpasses them all. It's the willingness to sacrifice. I'm not talking about grand, dramatic sacrifices like in the movies. I mean the everyday willingness to put aside his comfort, his ego, or even his short-term happiness for your well-being. Think about it. Anyone can buy flowers. Anyone can say nice words, but not everyone can give up something important to them without resentment just because they want you to be okay. This is the hidden foundation of real love, and it's what we'll explore in the next part. Because once you see this clearly, you'll never confuse temporary attraction with deep love. The ultimate sign: sacrifice. Let's get into the heart of it. The strongest sign that a man truly loves you is his willingness to sacrifice, not once, but consistently. Sacrifice doesn't mean he has to give up his dreams or lose his identity. It means he puts your well-being at the center of his decisions. He values your happiness enough to let go of something that only benefits him. Example: imagine he has an opportunity to stay out late with friends, but he knows you're sick at home. A man who doesn't care will text you quickly and carry on. A man who loves you will cut his night short and come sit with you, even if he doesn't say much. That sacrifice of time, something he could never get back, is a quiet declaration: you matter more than my comfort. Why sacrifice matters. Psychologists often say love without sacrifice is just desire. Desire is about taking what you want, what you can get. Love is about giving, what you're willing to lose for someone else. This is why sacrifice is such a powerful sign. It shows that his attachment isn't self-centered. It's oriented toward you. And let's be honest, sacrifice costs something. That's what makes it real. If it doesn't cost, it doesn't count. Everyday sacrifices that show love. Sacrifice isn't always dramatic. It's usually small and daily. He gives you the last bite of food even when he wanted it. He drives across town just to see you for a short time. He saves money not for himself, but for something you both need. He pauses his hobby because you needed help with yours. Each of these moments may look ordinary, but they add up to a pattern that says, "You're my priority." A cultural reflection. In many cultures, sacrifice is seen as the highest expression of love. Think about parental love. Parents constantly sacrifice for their children, sleep, money, time, energy, because they value their kids' survival and growth more than their own comfort. Romantic love, in a way, borrows from the same principle. A man who loves you doesn't just want to enjoy life with you. He wants to protect, support, and even struggle for you when necessary. This doesn't mean love is only about giving things up. A healthy relationship balances sacrifice on both sides. But the presence of sacrifice is a mark of depth. Its absence is a red flag. Putting it all together. Let's recap the subtle signs we've covered. He listens more than he talks. He shares his vulnerability. He puts effort into the everyday. He defends you, even in small ways. He adapts without complaining. He notices when you're not okay. He lets you influence him. And finally, the strongest sign: he sacrifices. Notice something? None of these signs are flashy. None of them are about expensive gifts or dramatic declarations. They're about consistency, presence, and depth. A personal comment. From my own perspective, what moves me most isn't when someone says "I love you" 100 times. It's when they quietly show up when I least expect it. when they sacrifice comfort for care. That's when you realize love isn't just a word, it's a daily choice. Closing reflection. So ask yourself, are you looking for the loud signs, the flowers, the compliments, the big gestures? Or are you paying attention to the quiet signs, the ones that actually reveal a man's heart? Love often hides in the background, in the actions that don't make a big show. Once you see it, you'll recognize it everywhere. Suspenseful ending and call to action. And here's the question I want to leave you with. Which of these signs do you notice most in your own life? Or which one do you wish you could see more of? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I'd love to read them. If this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into love, psychology, and relationships. Stay with me, because in upcoming videos, we'll explore not only how men show love, but also the mistakes that often destroy it without either person realizing it. You don't want to miss that.